can barely even begin to describe Backrooms. Let me just wind back. When I first saw the trailer and/or the poster, I assumed I was in for like a proper, gory, chilling horror film. It's complete opposite and anything but. This is one of the most bizarre, like twisted, I would say fantastical. It's far from fantastic. But it's just fucking weird. Really, really weird. I honestly would never watch this again. You couldn't pay me to sit through Backrooms again. But the plot. A gentleman, somewhere in America, works in a massive furniture store. And he discovers one day downstairs in the basement of the furniture store that he can walk through one of the walls. But he sort of enters this other realm, which is it's like the store expands, except it's like otherworldly. It's really weird. So he walks through the wall, which is ironic. Platform 9 3/4. I was only at London King's Cross myself a few days ago. Goes through, and the store expands, but it's like I can only describe it as like Tomb Raider meets Alice in Wonderland. You know, like where narrow hallways start start expanding. There's doors that, as the character approach, become smaller and smaller. There's really sinister parts to it. I enjoyed that aspect of it, the whole almost claustrophobic element, and how the sort of the spatial confusion, I suppose it is. I don't know, but yeah, on the other side of this wall. So yeah, I thought back rooms would mean various rooms. I mean, they're not sort of connected. There's doors, and oh my god, I don't know how to describe it. You'll have to watch it, even though I'm urging you not to, because it is just a load of tripe, to be fair. There's various areas. The thing is, there's nothing I anticipated, sort of, hooded beasts jumping out and tearing people to bits, that kind of thing. A horror film where, these horrible characters sort of jump out. If you've got to see something called As Above, So Below. One of my all-time favourite films, where a bunch of explorers they burrow beneath the catacombs in Paris and end up going to hell. Things become upside down, the wrong way round. Chambers that they enter are like the mirror opposites of somewhere they've just trekked from. It's twisted stuff. You have to see As Above, So Below. I got sort of elements of that. As well as the Blair Witch Project, actually, because some of it's on camera. The guy is going around filming it on VHS. This was like the Blair Witch Project, sponsored by Oak Furniture Land or something. So it's taken me a while to get to the point, because there is no point really to this film. It's full of symbolism, and there's a message or two concerning the lead guy. He gets his therapist involved, basically. She goes and visits the furniture shop, where, side note, it's unlocked. So how no other random members of the public have discovered this store and gone adventuring like them, I don't know. But yeah, she visits the store, goes after him, and then she becomes it's her own personal hell sort of thing. But I say hell, it's not. It's really it's dull. It's really, like I say, characters like demons popping out and grabbing people. Nothing. You get just endless hallways and sort of expanding rooms. It's architecturally hallucinogenic. It's just a maze of complete shite. There's swimming pools with sofas next to them. There's lampshades and coat hangers flying about. Fine, it's a furniture shop, so there's going to be all that sort of stuff in it, but none of it makes sense. Please, someone out there, can anyone else make sense of this film? If you can, drop a comment below. And if you can't, also drop a comment below. So, Backrooms, never. I wouldn't watch that again if you paid me. Seriously, I would rather deep fat fry and eat my own testicles than sit through that again. The maze effect, that's the only element I liked. As I mentioned, the whole sort of like the claustrophobic hallways and the way that doors appear, like in the floor. People, there's a great bit actually where one of the employees of the main character, he ties him to some rope, and he sort of lowers him down into this. You'd think he's like sort of walking downward, but then it pans up, and it turns out he's walking in a straight line. It's really fucking what's it called? Squid Game. You know that sort of building where all the steps are like jagged. The steps are going up that way, this way, that way. And again, ironically, Harry Potter, it's like shifting staircases. It's so weird. So Oak Furniture Land was suddenly like just taken over by like Alice in Wonderland style aspect and the Blair Witch Project. I spent, I would say 80%, 90%, 95%, 99% of Backrooms just frowning and sort of cocking my head like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, no. Basically, you know, when something is purposely like artistic, purposely meaningful, there's messages that the director and the writers are trying to get across, but it's done in such a fashion that it just tornadoes into just complete baffling nonsense. That's what you're dealing with here. So yeah, that whole him, like the lead character melting through the wall, that was a nice touch. Yes, fine. But on the other side of the wall, there was nothing dangerous. It was just, there's a random stop sign, and then there's like these rooms. They sort of duplicate what's going on upstairs, like outside. Anyway, right. This all culminates in the end. Now it finishes off in the presence of a guy who works as part of a research team, and he's speaking to the therapist at the end, the lead guy, the lead character's other lead character, and he starts to explain that these things are happening, like doors are appearing and stuff in the universe sporadically, all over the place, and they want to find out why. Fine. Why couldn't that have come toward, not even at the beginning of the film, but halfway through, so that you've got something to grasp, something to grab hold of, like a juicy plot that's just that you can build upon, rather than confusing the shit out of the viewer, and then right within the last final few seconds going, oh, something's happening across the world. Right, okay, yeah, bang, closing credits. Yeah, not for me. I can't even. Yeah, this is weird. Is there any good elements? No, just the doors in floors, doors shrinking, like having to like reach up. Like I said, as above, so below is a prime example of where they enter a chamber and everything's a mirror image. So the doors in the ceiling, the floors like giving way. It's please watch. In fact, this whole reaction here, I just want to promote As Above, So Below. What's her name? Perdita Weeks. She's a British actress, and it came out. It was released in cinemas. I was going to say theaters. Released in theaters in 2014. So yeah, it's 2014. It was great. Seriously, I've got it on DVD. My proudest DVD. Love it. Right. I'm just baffled as to why there was no. Why was there no? Why? Was there no horror in it? There's nothing. It was just fucking furniture. I mean, just get a sofa to come to life. Grow a pair of gnashes, like the bog in bloody Look Who's Talking. Do you know, like, no, just nothing. There was nothing. There's a few coat hangers strung about and lampshades and wind chimes and things. How exotic. Oh, what a pile of crap. My God. I didn't need that today. I really needed a movie today, but not this one. Not this one. So, I would just say, if you are under the influence of anything, not condoning drugs or alcohol, even if you've got a hangover, steer clear, please. This movie, you'll feel like you've just like grown 3 sets of eyes or something. It's like, what the which again is ironic because there's characters in this that do actually pop up that have weird faces. It's like one of those magic eye puzzles. Anyway, I'm not going to elaborate. It's just not worth my time. So was anyone else out there? Were any of you confused? Wondering, wondering why there wasn't more substance, more jump scares, more horror, more intrigue, more gripping moments, and just less walkie-talkie, like just dire, to be frank, boring scenes. In this movie, wow. Oh my God. Right, gonna go. Got better things to do. Like the laundry when I get home. I'm sure there was a point to Backrooms. I honestly, I was going to say I kind of got it. I didn't get it at all. No, this really, no way. Never again.